Welcome to Handyman Business Fundamentals with Chip and Christy. So today, Mr. Chip is not with me because he is recovering from a toothache, but I didn't want you guys to miss out. Today, we're talking about becoming stronger in your handyman business with Handyman Business Fundamentals. I know I've felt very weak many times when I've been running my handyman business. If you're looking to start or scale your handyman business, there's a proven process that's necessary to start off with. Many creative people have these great ideas about handyman businesses, but they approach the planning ineffectively and they eventually flop. First and foremost, you have to have a market that's a large size. Now, what does that mean exactly? You have to find a niche market that is reasonable enough in size that you pinpoint and make a profit, but also a market that's small enough that it's not a red ocean where there's this feeding frenzy to get to the customer. You want to carve out a niche big enough, but small enough that you're one of the only ones in there. So it'll be like a blue ocean when you're beginning your handyman business. Because as a small handyman business, a solopreneur, that's how most of them get started, you can't compete with big dogs like the Dwyer Group and Mr. Handyman or Handyman Connections, large corporations that have lots of money to throw around. Now, two main mistakes that handyman entrepreneurs make is finding these small enough markets and targeting them. They go too broad. They say, I do everything. Whatever you need, I can do it. And this is already heavily exploited. There's already a red ocean. There's all these sharks that are going to feed, and it leaves you with almost nothing. So you've got to decide to sell a service to your target audience for you to be successful. To start off with, choose your area of expertise. What are you good at? Carpentry, painting, fencing, flooring, remodeling, power washing. What is your favorite job to do that's very profitable? What do you have experience in? Use your education, your skills, and the people you know to help you transform your dream into a reality. If you have many areas of interest and aren't sure which one would be most profitable, maybe do a little bit more research and don't jump in with everything. Consider how it will be possible to convert your education and skills into money-making opportunities. Research your surrounding market and see what's in your area. Christy, how do I research? Google it. Googleology. There's always a void within the target market. You just have to find it. Be resourceful in your research. Now, if you're trying to find handy money in markets online, be forewarned, this can be tedious and time consuming. You'll first have to think about all the different places to find your target audience. Then make a first idea and research it and use some exhaustive keywords and key phrases that help people in your target market use this information to find their desired service. Next, you must research all keywords and phrases for relevancy and then study which keywords on your list might lead to other niches that will need future researching. Then you need to compare all your handy keywords to web pages to evaluate the present competition. You will use this information to narrow down your keywords and phrases that most online traffic are already being used. If your small market does not appear to be profitable, you must start the research process over. If you find one that seems like a moneymaker, then you most focus on the finding ideas to profit from. Now, a perfect example of this was in 2020 when COVID hit. And usually in the winter, we always talked about remodeling. So that's what I talked about for January and February. And then in March, COVID hit. And people were scared to death in 2020 of COVID when it first came out. We all thought we were going to die of it. So what we did was I looked at what was going on in the world. People didn't want people in their houses. So we had to pivot our business really quickly. I saw 5 handyman businesses go out of business within the first 6 weeks of COVID because they weren't smart enough to pivot, even though they'd been told, you got to pivot your business, you got to go outside. Right now, you have to do virtual estimates or phone estimates or FaceTime estimates because people just didn't want you in their homes. My cleaning businesses actually had a real rough time at that time also. So what we did was we pivoted to outdoors, and we found out that our guys are great at building decks. So that's where we pivoted our business, was decks. And we did it until this last year, and we went back to kind of normal advertising. But I found when doing that, the decks were super profitable. So when you find that niche, there wasn't anybody else that was specifically going after outdoor at that time. And most people, when COVID hit in March and April of 2020, they were shutting all their advertising off. What I did is I kicked mine up, and it was all outdoor work, outdoor kitchens, outdoor living, that sort of thing, because I knew that my previous remodeling at this time of year wasn't going to work because people didn't want people in their homes. So those are a couple of things that you need to keep in mind. And if you just don't want to spend the time, you'd rather go out and do the work, or you'd rather work on scaling your business, maybe you don't want to spend that time building that website or SEOs, then you need to join me tomorrow for the Handyman Business Fundamentals web class. Go to handymanbusinessfundamentals.com and log in and register RSVP for this class. I've already got like 54 people signed up for the class tomorrow. So sign up for the class, come see if Handyman Business Fundamentals is for you. I'll also put the link on all the videos all over social media. Click on that link, RSVP your spot so you can be there and see how you can start working your website, having your website work for you instead of just sitting there making you no money. Let's get your website start to make you money. And you're able to make money from that website with the SEOs that we can build into it for you. Hire somebody to do it. Handyman Business Fundamentals actually does that and has the coaching available too. You guys have an amazing day, and thank you for joining us for the Chip and Christy podcast. Get well, Chip. Bye-bye.